We're back! Hello, adventurers, and welcome to Grognard and Friends, where friends gather to explore the world of the Aura and play a little Dungeons and Dragons. It's good to be back. I think we are all renewed, refreshed, and ready to renew the investigation into the disappearance of Veronica Marner. Not only will this be the return of the Huntress Talia, but as a thank you for your continued support, we have a very special surprise for all of you. There are friends that help us behind the scenes here at Grognard and Friends that you never get to see, but whose continued gifts are such a blessing to us all. One such person is the space wizard himself, Mr. Chuck Regan, who created the Grognard and Friends logo that you see below me here right now. I have known Chuckles for ages and consider him not only an immensely talented artist, but also one of my dearest friends. And he has outdone himself this time by creating our new opening that we will be premiering here in just a moment for the first time anywhere. The great thing about Chuckles is that he knows me so well that I tell him what I want and he delves deep inside my mind and surpasses my hopes every time. But as amazing as he is, Chuckles couldn't have created this new opening without some help. The photography was provided by our fellow friend and Grognard friend Vegan Rick of One Shot Media, and we are super excited that the band Stereogram has given us permission to use one of their songs as the show's new theme song. Thank you, Stereogram. You guys fucking rock. Stick around afterwards for our closing credits to see how you can find even more amazing work by these remarkable artists and friends. And speaking of the friends, let's check out this week's episode and the brand spanking new opening for Grognard and Friends. I've always loved that new opening smell.
Nice.
Excellent,
Sweet.
as usual.
I love the bunnies.
When last we left the friends, they had finally made it to the village of Forest Grove, where they met a number of locals. Gaius went on a goodwill mission to speak to the bereaved Worthingtons, and investigators extraordinaire Nikita and Reed went off to speak to the young girl's friends. But their biggest success was the surprising discovery of a source for delicious baked goods. The friends' new acquaintance, the Huntress Talia, went off to hunt and gather game for the mayor's party. Eldred and Butt Trumpet headed back to the Sunny Day Inn to see what they could find, and Gaius had a glass of wine and a chat with an unusual fellow wine lover. Okay, friends. So, Gaius, you're sitting in the bar at the moment, having just had your new friend leave, and it's about this time that you see Nikita and Reed step into the bar, and at the same time you see Eldred and Butt Trumpet coming down the stairs.
Oh,
Gang's all here.
This is good
hello.
timing. Ah.
This is excellent timing.
It's evening. It's early evening, or mid-evening.
Okay, yeah. I may have partaken a little bit more than usual at this time of day. Please, everyone,
That's
come
more than
sit.
usual.
Come and I'll tell you what that might look like.
Da, come on,
Okay.
come over. You must try this shortbread. There. Bread.
Oh, is that why you two are covered in crumbs?
What?
Da.
Yeah, you're covered in
We had
crumbs.
to quality test it first to make sure it was safe for everyone.
It looks
We
like
only
you
have a
quality-
little bit.
It looks like you quality tested about 1 tin's worth.
Why do you
Which
say
way?
that, Brush?
Yes.
As Gaius reaches over and like gets a crumb off of Reed's shirt and then just puts it in his mouth. He's like, "That is good shortbread." You know what? I think I
Really
need
good.
food.
Yes.
Well, save some for Eldred and Buck Trumpet.
Mr.
yes, come.
Mr. Sunnyday comes over, sees you all laughing and having a good time, and says, "I suppose you want something to eat."
Oh yeah, definitely. Come
All
on,
of you?
Mr. Sunnyday. I would
Yes,
assume does any of us not actually eat? I kind of never asked that question.
He turns around before you even finish talking there, guys, and heads to the kitchen. And
I love that
says,
guy. He is such a character. He
and says,
pretends to hate us.
5, and then goes back behind the bar and looks
Who
over
is he
and says,
speaking to?
"How many ales you want?"
Same number? Yeah, sure, same number.
He turns around and starts pulling those.
So anyway, come sit, have eat, drink, be merry, all that good stuff. Hey, have any of you ever drank so much you saw something? Oh, yeah.
I mean-
What'd you see? Like not multiple people or multiples of the
No.
same thing.
No.
Have you ever?
It,
No. Yes.
where I've seen that, but where you also see something that you're pretty sure isn't really there.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, this was almost certainly kind of there.
I've done
Anyone
most
else?
of my drinking with you. And
Wow,
I-
that's so sweet.
yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I've seen you drinking.
Yeah, no. Oh, God. I'm
Eldred
getting-
says, "I've always been with you too, so I haven't always been drinking, although I do a lot, but I've seen stuff that I wasn't sure if it was there or not, but that could have just been from the fumes of being next to you guys. I don't know."
Quite possible. I think you might be insulting me, but I'll get back to that
I
later.
only remember the aftermath of the morning after I drink.
You
So do we.
little friend, we need to work on your tolerance level.
Gosh.
You start hard when you should just slowly work up, and then we find you plateau. Anyway, we'll deal with that later.
So
I
what did
had-
you see?
A holy hallucination.
Oh,
Yeah, I
what?
think that's what I'm going to call it. I'm almost certain I have been asking for like guidance on this particular mission from on high, if you will, or out there perhaps, and he kind of just like gestures to a wall that does not actually point to anything in particular. So, but I've been doing it more because I'm really concerned about making sure we don't screw up on this missing girl. I may have imbibed more than my regular in a normal sitting, or the elderberry wine is totes, high octane. But I had a conversation with an entity, maybe, and he gave me guidance. Remember, Reed? I told you about this and that my divine cell phone thing I do. I don't know what that is. My divine.
That sounds like more
Contact
crazy
thing.
wizard. That's more crazy wizard speak, but you could explain it to me.
All right. Anyway,
Eldred says, "So your god Bacchus sat and had a drink with you?"
that would have been awesome. No, apparently, is too busy at the moment. Also, I'm almost certain if he showed up, that much energy would probably just have made me pop, like explode, like bits. I mean, he's a god, right? That's kind of like a lot. So,
I'm pretty sure if we went to match right now, you would explode.
a different kind of explode, but that's why I'm sitting near the window.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, it's a plan. You got to plan ahead. Anyway,
Yeah.
so this guy, I don't know if it was a guy. I assume he's a guy. I named him Bubbles, apparently. I don't know why. I nicknamed him Bub because, it just felt weird. Exactly, right? When the name came out. I must have been
Yeah.
drinking when I did that.
Why?
Anyway, well, he kind of had this. Do you guys know what elephants are? I don't know what your experiences with wildlife. I've seen my fair share. I've lived in the forest, the mountains. Might have
Is
been
it true
Sarah's
that
house.
I heard elephants pee from their nose? Is that true? I don't know what they are, but
Listen, I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna describe it. It's better if you just use your imagination. It was an animal, but like with the body kind of like form of a person almost. You know, kind of sitting with
Okay, that
clothes on, and was able to sit at the bar with me. Yeah, this sounds like drunken rambling, but anyway,
Mhm.
I'm almost certain it wasn't.
Okay.
He gave me some information that made Mr. Sunshine out of his ass over there freak out. So he kind of gave the vibe that like
You see,
he knew what he was talking. Oh, like his special reserves down in the basement. Don't say it loud because he's getting. I'm almost certain he thinks I'm either insane or touched in the head, which kind of describes
wrong.
me a little bit. Yeah. No. Anyway.
He has a point.
Yes. Thank you, Eldred, again for that.
I'm here for you.
Yeah. For some reason. Anyway. Focus. I need to focus. So I asked for guidance about finding her. We're on the right path. All the information is in front of us and around us. Was the guidance I was given.
like on the
So
table.
I'm thinking, wait, and then guys kind of looks down at the table, feeling around, looks under the table to see if there's anything written on it, bangs his head on the way back up. Nope, not that literal. But
but maybe the basement.
well, there's that which we could potentially, and winking and nodding at you, Sir Reed, might have to take a look-see into that later. But I'm thinking what he meant was to find the girl. The answers are in town. Speaking of which, how was the interviewing of the girls? Young ladies.
Yeah. What did you find
How
out?
old were they? I don't. We didn't actually get an age range for them. Were they ladies, girls?
They
Somewhere
were
in
kids.
Teenagers.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I wasn't there.
They were really bored.
Until we
Shocking.
brought the food.
Oh
Wait,
yeah,
they didn't care that their friend was missing?
They did a little bit, but they kind of made it sound like, or well, at least some of them thought she was kind of snooty because her dad was that rich guy.
Ah.
Yeah.
It's understandable. It's interesting. Okay, so she may or may not be snooty.
Yeah, like dressing up, showing off the money, that kind of thing. She didn't have to work at the seamstress place. Whereas the others do. Am I remembering correctly?
I mean, that sounds
Maybe.
appropriate.
But it was
Yeah.
terrifying. Everything was sewn. Everything.
Yeah, the
So they
lady makes like
crochet?
fuzzy hats.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're made from
That's
like
what-
puffy string.
Have you guys never been to a seamstress before?
No,
No,
I'm.
I look at Reed. Why would we?
Yeah, what?
Okay. Hot take. I came from a small town like this. Generally, you have somebody who makes clothes. Do they
So,
forge
okay.
clothes where you're from, Nikita?
It's a lot
Is
of
it all
leather.
metal?
Leather
Tanning.
with the metal. It was all the frillies and the flowers and the shit.
Yeah.
It just lots of color. Not used to that.
Yeah, it's understandable. It's not really my jam either, but it's kind of, it's what normal people wear as far as I'm. They wear
Yeah.
clothes that are soft and generally not used for armor.
Well,
Okay, well,
so what's the
apart from
point
knowing
then
that
if you're going to
she's-
go into a mine? Sorry, what's that?
Yeah.
What
no, it's
trumpet?
okay. Basically, I genuinely, aside from knowing that she's snooty, like, what else were they able to tell you, if anything? Or what vibe could you get from this?
Well, they had another friend who didn't come to the seamstress anymore, so we were going to go talk to her because she might know something. But her farm's pretty far out there, so we didn't make it there before we had to turn around. We were in that direction with all the scary scarecrows.
Oh,
They're still there.
Great.
we should definitely
Still
check
smell
that
like
out. How,
shit?
Didn't get
we
that
didn't get
close.
close. Yeah.
Good.
So, how far would you say the farm is?
It was a
Like 2
kind of a
hours.
couple, yeah, like 2 hours, and then you could see it in the distance, but the sun was starting to go down. Someone give me a perception with advantage, or each of you roll me a perception.
Oh my
Well, you
god.
can
Wow,
see
good
the
thing you
holes.
had that advantage.
Okay,
Oh,
never mind.
Nikita's dice have infected me.
Yes, exactly. Slow growth.
Okay, Mr. Sunnyday brings out some meals, and it looks to be either some sort of game bird. Each of you get one. It's about that big, and it's with fresh vegetables and small potatoes, and also brings over ale for everyone. Puts it down, doesn't say anything, and then just turns around and goes back to the bar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your hard
And
work.
goes
This
up
is
and
my
doesn't even.
Butcher, but the potatoes are sized for us.
I will break that man before I leave this town.
Like
I
Not
hope
like
so.
literally. No, not
Oh.
not literally, man. What's so violent all the time?
Eldred says, I think he means in a romantic way.
No, as the
I
guy
think
puts his
Eldred
hand
is
on
project-
Eldred's shoulder. I'm saving myself for you, buddy, and just kind of like slaps him playfully on the side of the face. Anyway,
Eldred turns to Reed and says, Where was that guy in the market in Seven Rivers? Happy
oh
Harry?
yeah, Happy Harry's, yeah. He's down. He's
I take a wide path around that now. I don't.
Oh, maybe guys and I should visit there. Anyway, you were
Oh, yeah.
saying.
I don't know who was saying what.
I got the general feeling they knew about her going to the city of Seven Rivers to marry an old guy or something.
Actually, they
And she
said
wasn't-
the Baron.
That's true. They did say the Baron specifically, and she wasn't happy about it. But she's the type of Reed and I were talking. She's the type of snooty that isn't going to run away by herself. She got driven to the town on the wagon with the guy we need to talk to as well, the wagon driver dude whose name I've forgotten.
Yes.
Wagon driver?
He works for the Marner, Mr. Marner or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think
I
he
think we
might
met
know
him.
more than
I think we met him at the Marner Manor.
horses. Marner Manor.
Marner Manor.
Marner Manor. Yeah, they're at the Marner Manor.
Momentarily.
Marner Manor. Marner Manor.
Maybe.
Maybe at the Marner Manor.
Wait.
Momentarily.
Hey,
Okay, so the food is amazing.
Really?
The skin on the fowl is crispy and flavorful, and the meat's juicy and delicious, and the vegetables are just cooked perfectly. So
Wow.
you continue to eat, what do you need to discuss while you're finishing up there?
Mr. Sunnyday, this is really fucking good. Spasiba. Thank you.
He kind of turns to the kitchen and says, "They like it," and then looks in and is like, "What?"
no, there's nothing. You continue on your
You are
gregarious way.
Yeah,
So-
he was of no help whatsoever.
Oh, he's
He had like
Okay.
nothing and didn't even look at me the whole time. Just only talked to Eldred. Yeah, I felt a certain type of way about that.
I can imagine. That is very rude. Did you get anything from
Dismissive.
him?
Nothing. He did not give a shit about what's going on. He had nothing.
You should put a bunny on his head.
wait. Who
We
you
should
talking
bring
about?
your bunny to him.
No, no, because we're dealing with one missing person. I don't want to be aware of what happened to the other one. So I imagine it'd be slow at this moment. He's not very large yet. Anyway,
So what's the name of the friend with the faraway farm that we should talk to?
Okay, it's Bertha who has the shortbread. I'm going to see if I can work backwards to remember their name. Bertha? Estelle? Was it Estelle?
It definitely started with an E. Ethel?
Something like that. Enid?
I don't think it was Enid.
Oh,
how about
I'm
the
just-
last name? Was it the last name one of the friends we heard, or
No, it was
No,
a
it-
different family.
And apparently they're odd.
Oh, where's the farm generally located?
The way we came in along those fields.
Hey,
It's
the
out
guy
there.
just turns around. Hey, there's a farm just north of town here, heading towards Seven Rivers. Does anyone know the name of the farm? They might have a daughter named begins with an E.
Eleanor,
Estelle, Eleanor, something like that.
Ethel.
Estelle Jangle. Estelle
Jangle?
Jangle. There we go.
And from the bar you hear, yeah, the Jangles, that's it. And you,
Thank you very much. The guy turns back
don't
around.
mention
Okay.
it. Let me know
Okay.
if you're buying dinner again.
I'll get you another time, my friend. Just not tonight. Those mooches.
Have it your way.
I might. So it sounds like we need to take a trip to the Jangle farm tomorrow. This time with horses to cut down on the travel.
Yeah.
And we can talk with the driver person whose name I definitely don't remember on the way there. Hopefully,
We should have time before the party, right?
I mean,
nah.
he's probably going to be at the party. No,
Oh,
not
you
the
mean
Jangles.
the driver.
The driver, because obviously if Marner's going to be down there, he isn't driving his own wagon. I don't know whatever the hell the coach. Yeah, handsome. I don't know what the hell they call that shit here. Stagecoach.
I think it's wagon. I think.
Yeah, conveyance.
Eldridge says we'll have the entire day. The party's not till the evening, right?
Exactly.
That's what I
So
thought.
we wake up, jangle it up, come on back.
Mhm.
That sounded bad.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a
Jangle?
trust
Does
you.
anyone
Was that much of it?
No, nothing.
All right.
does anyone know how to get into the cellar here? Should we do a little scoping out?
Oh, I could find it later.
Okay.
We have a
Do a
master.
little tap dance, a little shuffle along the floorboard, see if there's a door.
I was going to say intrigue and stealth, but sure, that too.
I was going to try the
Stealthy
kitchen
little
first.
Yeah, Reed, do you want me to enhance your dancing, or would you rather me enhance something else?
Eldridge says you two
like
want to be
your-
alone.
Intelligence? No, I told you. I'm saving myself for you,
Okay.
you dirtbag. Anyway,
President.
yes, aware. No, Reed, I can help you with investigating. Remember, I got the magics. As he pulls out a book and
Oh.
it just falls out of his hand and on the floor, he's like, damn it. Hold on.
Shit,
Thanks.
you are
And on the way
advanced.
down and on the way back up, he's like, yeah, I kind of had enough to apparently see things. So you can only imagine how much that was.
Would it last
What?
till later, or should we do it after dinner?
Oh, no, we'll do it later.
Eldridge says,
I'm gonna-
are we sure we want to check out wine today? Maybe wait until we kind of know what we're doing?
Yeah, maybe have a glass of water there, Gaius?
Oh, what do you think is in this?
It's ale.
Not
Not
water.
water?
He got me, Reed. It is water. Not water. It's ale. I'm drinking ale. I don't think you need that enhancement, charm.
Thank you.
Don't worry, I promise I'll stick my head in the rain barrel after dinner. God, I hope there's water in there.
I'm just thinking maybe it's not just wine down below. If he's
Oh, yes. Part of the.
if he's doing the ship thing, then maybe there's something else.
The other thing we have to look into is whoever owns the ships or barges or whatever they use to move material, both illegally and legally. We talked to them because our girl might have slipped away on a ship.
This is true.
Mm.
This is very true.
And I hear there is loose lips on ships, or there shouldn't be.
Like,
I am
is
very
there a person
concerned
with
about
them?
what you, I said I am very concerned about what you hear and see.
Oh, well, yes, you should be. I have vast magical powers. Read.
Do you
Looks
just see
what I
like
think.
lips? Like floating lips?
Well, they're usually
Yes.
attached to things like people. Like, I see lips on you right now. This is getting weird. No, what I was trying to say was that there are people on the ships and the barges, and if they were used to potentially transport her away from here, that they might tell us something. Butt Trump is just dying to charm a person.
Ooh.
Have you
You're
tried
curious
on
to what'll
Mr.
happen.
Sunny Day?
I have thought
Yeah.
about it, but we don't know what happens as a result, because there's always a chance that Bunny
College kids
2.0 is
will
going to
explode.
happen.
I am just thinking because supposedly Sunny Day doesn't like Marner very much. No one likes Marner at all, is
I
the
don't know if
impression I got.
Marner even likes Marner, to be quite honest with you.
This is very possible. So, do we even want to? Let's just make sure she's alive, and then does she want to come back?
Yeah,
Well, here's-
I brought this up when we hold on a minute. I brought this up when we first searched her room. When we found her diary, the last entry in there was just too superficial, and I have a theory that someone who's going to be sneaking away, leaving home, and getting help has another diary.
Yeah.
Secret diary.
And I think if we find that, we'll know like who else we could talk to. So maybe she has a secret hiding place in her room or the house or even
During the
with her
party.
friend.
Mm.
We could talk to the help. Poor bastard's
Horseman.
name. We still don't. Yeah,
Horseman.
yeah. We're calling him Horseman for now. We could talk to Horseman. Basically, shadows her when the old man's not around, taking her to town, probably taking her back as the way for. He might know of a spot.
Yeah.
Maybe she favors in the house, and then we can do a little. Well, it's not snooping because he'll just let us
I kinda-
look around.
I kind of got the impression he's like Marner's right hand man, though. Not like
Oh.
he would not. You
He
know,
might-
I don't think he. I don't think if the girl was like taken away or something, I feel like he would be on the father side. And everybody said he's a terrible father.
But here's the thing: the father and this guy will want us to find her. So he might have. It's like, oh, she likes to sit at this particular bench every day outside and write in a book or something. So we could potentially use that information to find Butt Trumpets. I like the idea of the secret journal.
Yeah.
Could be a secret journal, or at the very least, maybe if what's his face, Chip, her Chip.
Chip.
Yeah.
That was the boyfriend in Seven Rivers. Da.
They may have corresponded. There could be some letters somewhere.
Oh,
So,
da.
If not a journal, if this girl has money connections, she could have potentially been messaging somebody in Seven Rivers. There could be or love notes somewhere. So that might give us clues on where she at least maybe was meeting up with people. That we could probably do. We got permission from Marner to search her room, so I'm sure we could
Mhm.
probably get his permission to search other parts of the house. I wouldn't see
Yeah.
why
Off
that's an
table
issue.
question, real quick. Question for Mr. G up there. Did her bed have bedposts or was it like more of a cot?
It was a 4-poster.
Okay. There could
Yeah, with all the-
potentially be something hidden in one of the posts. You could probably screw a part off and like hide things in there. Something that wasn't immediately within the vicinity of her room were someone to search it the first time.
Something to
Very
keep in
in-depth.
mind when you did check out the bed when you searched the room, so you didn't find any secret compartments when you did search.
And
Okay,
we
I
feel
thought we
like
just
we
looked
got a
under
good
it.
look.
I think
we
you
felt
rolled
like we
an
got a good look at it.
investigation. I don't think you
Yeah,
rolled great, but you did. You
Oh
did do
no,
an
I nat
investigation.
20'd
Oh,
on the
you nat 20'd?
investigation. Oh yeah, I
Okay.
gave myself all the enhancements because it was completely worthless. I had advantage, and I think I nat
Okay.
20 twice or some nonsense like that. So
Okay, if you nat 20, then you would have known that you found all there was to find.
yeah, Paul, if you go back on Foundry, 27 days and 21 hours ago, Gaius rolled 2 nat 20s on investigation. And 21 hours ago, Gaius rolled 2 nat 20s on investigation. And 21 hours ago, Gaius rolled 2 nat 20s on investigation. And 21 hours ago, Gaius rolled 2 nat 20s on investigation. And 21 hours ago, Gaius
The Homer
rolled 2 nat
dough.
20s on
The Homer dough.
Anyway,
Oh, God.
so evidence. Those are the last times I rolled nat 20s in this game. So
That was awesome.
sadly,
So our
but-
goals are going to be secret, I guess.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to be
For today, at least.
we'll be communicating them to the audience. So yeah, you found if there was any secret compartments or anything like that, you found it. And I don't remember exactly where you found the diary, but that was probably the only secret thing to find. So it's getting a little late here in the inn.
So
You guys have had a
Alright.
full, rich day.
feel
I
all
am
this
going
wealthy
to
from
head
the
up
day.
to my room. Oop.
You're going to head up to your room?
And wash my set of clothing so that it hopefully will be somewhat presentable tomorrow for the
Okay.
party.
Do you not
Oh,
do that
I
on a
guess I
regular
should do that
basis?
too.
You definitely need to do that.
Oh, I gotta do the wash. Okay.
I
Come
wasn't
on,
going to
Reed.
say anything, but you've been getting a little funky.
Okay. Okay, so everyone's
smell
head
like
up to the
shortbread.
room, or
Yes.
I don't know about everyone. Reed, don't forget to check for things.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, guys
Well-
is gonna do his
well-
magic first.
I think Eldred and Butt Trumpet had the right idea. Before we potentially uningratiate ourselves with our host, hypothetically, like if you were caught or they notice that you did it, we want to make sure that we have to do it.
Yeah, maybe after
Oh,
the
okay.
party we look for that.
After the party. After the party, maybe. At the very least, we could just camp in the woods like vagabonds.
Ooh! Ooh! The woods. Talia showed us places that could have been potentially where Veronica was. If she has another diary, maybe she hid it there.
We could always double back and check to see if she did.
Mhm.
We could do those spots. The house. Nikita, Reed, did you get from her friends if she spent time anywhere else in town or anything like that? If she had favorite spots besides coming to hang out with them?
Not really.
Not that I remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
maybe.
she. Sorry.
Oh no. Let's go ahead. Bunch up. Shh. No, just go. Go.
So her friend said she didn't have to work there, but did she have a workbench or a table that she'd go to?
We didn't actually get
They
to
were
see
all-
where they were.
Yeah, it was like back towards the back of the house. I don't know if the kitchen is there or something. Whereas we were in the front, kind of like a storefront, where all the terrifying flowers and shit was.
We'll have to
I'm
unpack
just saying that
later. Nikita.
potentially it could be another potential hiding place.
That's
This
an
is
excellent
true.
idea. We could. So these are questions to keep in mind for tomorrow night, because we'll probably see the girls again, the business owner, the seamstress, and then also anybody else in town. We're gonna be available. Oh, also, by the way, the woman who makes the elderberry wine we've been drinking apparently makes poison.
Ooh.
So that's fun.
Oh,
Yeah, keep that under your. Actually, Reed, you're the only one who really wears a hat. And Eldred, I have to talk to you. For a wizard, you do not have tall, pointy hats enough, sir.
no, with my height, they kind of make me look awkward.
It's the hats
Yeah,
that
it's
do
the
that, is
Yeah,
Nikita.
it? Gaius and Nikita just high five. Hey, who? To bed. Some
okay.
of you.
oh yeah, I don't want to be down here with Mr. Positive.
Hey, I'm a very enjoyable person.
I wasn't talking about you.
Okay.
Gaius
Center of
and
attention.
Reed.
Yeah.
Roll me a 20-sider each of you, and I'll determine what that is.
Don't look at it.
I'll determine what that does.
Determine what
Keep it
that
bright.
does. Determine what that does. Determine what that does. What that does. Determine what that does. Determine what that does. What that does. Determine what that does. Determine what that does.
I thought I briefly saw Talia in that fugue state I was in.
See, that's what I thought we were going to avoid doing by not opening it up.
I am very intoxicated, apparently.
Thank you.
You guys go to your respective rooms. Everyone crashes for the night. Gaius, give me a perception check, please.
14.
As you're laying there in bed and beginning to doze off, you realize you're kind of doing something with your one hand repeatedly.
Yo,
Say it
Your
faster. Say it faster.
your mind's been fucked up
Say it
place. Your
faster.
mind,
Say it
your mind,
faster.
hold up. Your mind's been fucked up
Say
place.
it
Your mind,
faster. Say it
your mind,
faster.
hold up. Your mind's. I'm glad you don't have a soundboard, Paul, because you would be very easily distracted.
A little bit. You find when you realize it that you are kind of rubbing that little blue marble between your fingers just repeatedly and really enjoying the feel of the texture of this smooth stone.
Damn it.
So even as you start to doze off, you find your hand kind of repeatedly going back to that little marble. Everyone but Reed, take off your headphones, please. Reed, you go to bed. Everything's seems to be normal and good, and you're dreaming of bacon and bunnies and all the good stuff. All of a sudden, you feel an incredible pressure and weight on your chest, and you also realize that your eyes are closed in this dream.
Can I push it off, or
You're kind of paralyzed. You can't move, but you think you could probably open your eyes.
all right? I try to get a look at it.
Okay, you open your eyes, and what you find is kind of disturbing. There is an incredibly old man that is naked, kind of squatting on your chest, looking down at you.
Get off! Get off me! What?
And it just kind of looks at you and leans into you, and you can smell this foul breath.
Oh.
Give me a perception check. 13?
13.
One of the things you notice is the skin of this old man is very bizarre. It smells really rank. It smells dirty and just has kind of a real bad smell to it. But the thing you notice most of all is that at some points it seems to stretch very tight against the body, and yet at other times it seems to kind of bulge and bag and hang and almost be like someone who was incredibly obese who lost a ton of weight very quickly. But the eyes are kind of yellowy and dark and just kind of looking at you, and gets kind of right down in your face and sniffs.
I try to look around. It's like, am I in the room? Is anybody in here with me? Like,
You just kind of see
Nikita's
this.
room, right?
Yeah, you see the ceiling past this body, past this man, and you can't move your head, but you can kind of see that you are in the room.
Oh God. I close my eyes again. Good God.
Okay, you feel pressure on the gem in your forehead, and then the next thing you know, it's morning. It's morning. Who would be up first, Gaius?
Oh, yeah. With a with a whaler of a hangover. Oh, holy hell. Swig some wine out of one of his wine sacks. Oh,
Okay,
gotta do cardio.
you head downstairs, and as you're getting yourself to a booth, a seat, whatever you're going to do, you hear give me a perception check first before I go doing anything, because you might be so hungover you're oblivious.
12. Not my
Okay.
greatest. Not my word. I have
It's
a
enough,
passive
though.
perception of 18.
No problem. You hear the sound of what sound almost like wagon wheels, kind of a squeaking of wood, and in walks someone you've met from before, and you see Talia there go up to Mr. Sunnyday saying that she only has a little bit for him today because the mayor has requested the bulk of what she's been working on, and she sees you.
Close the door. It's so violent outside. Hi, Talia. Hey, Sunny Day, do you have anything, this is going to sound weird, non-alcoholic?
I'd
got
say
what?
good morning, but it doesn't look like it's a good one for you.
Oh, no. I'm fine. This is a normal day praying to Bacchus. Actually, no, it's not. I'm lying. This was an excessive prayer that I sent up to the good one, and he responded. So, I need. Do you just sell water here, or do you have like other liquids that don't have? This is weird. I've only drank alcoholic beverages in this place.
He puts up a mug and pours from a pitcher what looks like cool, clear water.
Oh, Sunny Day, just give me the pitcher. And I poured the water back into the pitcher and just holding a finger up, just starts chugging the pitcher.
Sunny Day just shakes his head, turns around, turns to you, Talia, and says,
And the pitcher's down.
I'll take that, and takes the bag, the squishy bag from you, and goes into the kitchen.
And the pitcher is empty of water now. Talia! How you doing? How was the hunt?
It's about this time that Nikita and Eldred come down.
Fruitful. Think I gathered enough, a fair amount for tonight's party. How was the search? Turn up any information?
Oh, some of us did more work than others. I had to visit the bereaved of the Worthingtons. And afterward, I got a little sad and introspective, so I had to commune with my God. But Nikita and Reed did some positive footwork. That's what I just said. Didn't I just say that?
In more words.
Well, it's. Have you not seen a cleric use more words than they need to?
Oh, that I am familiar with.
It's actually a requirement.
Interesting. I'd always wondered.
Yeah, there's a contract you got to sign. Anywho,
Talia, you know that you have a number of deer in your cart and a number of bags of small animals in the cart. That this was just a stop. You were on your way up to the mayor's estate to take them.
Oh. I hope that you guys find good news on her. She didn't seem like an awful kid, so I gotta get going. Can't let before the carry-on start getting out the game.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, give
If
me a
you were-
perception check.
25.
Okay.
Wow.
That
That
pitcher of
water.
clear, just-
Magic!
this body hasn't received just pure water in a while.
The water around here is amazing. You see the cart outside, and you see it's large with 2 wheels. And you don't know how strong Talia is, but you know getting up that hill to the mayor's estate is going to be a bitch.
Talia, I usually exercise in the morning, and I haven't done it yet. Would you like some assistance from your friendly cleric, and maybe his slightly stronger dwarf friend, to get
What?
that cart up?
Are we doing?
I'm volunteering us to assist.
It's about this time
Talia.
that, Talia, you see a little, what looks like might be a small child or halfling with their hair all messed up, sticking up in like onesie pajamas, come trotting down the stairs, yawning, followed by a small goblet that is kind of so small they're doing the sit on the seat and kind of pop themselves down to the next one, ooch forward, pop down to the next step, all the way down.
Oh, goodness.
More members of my illustrious team.
I walk over to Nikita and I just give you a big hug. You need to wake up when stuff happens in our room.
What happened in the room?
It was smelly and naked and awful, and it was sitting on me.
What?
Is it Eldred?
What?
Yeah,
Not me. If I'm
That
going to
wasn't
sit on it, I'm
Eldred.
going to have my clothes on.
Something naked was in the room sitting on you?
it was like an old man with like saggy skin that went tight sometimes and was all dirty and smelly, and he pushed on my thing.
Is it
What was that?
still there?
He pushed on my yeah, it's still there, right?
Yep.
Um, And-
That would be.
Just
And,
picked at it like a scab.
I don't know. He was pushing on it, but I couldn't move. It was awful.
Normally,
You all sound
Talia,
like
does
you have a
that-
lot to discuss. I think I should get going. She's
Oh,
just.
you don't want help?
If you're offering, it would make life a little easier, I suppose. Though if you have
It's okay, Nikita.
naked,
We'll
wrinkly
help her.
room intruders to discuss, I managed before. I
Well-
can do it again.
Most of my room intruders are young mage criminals who steal my pants, but that's neither here nor there.
That's shockingly on brand now that we think about it.
She's just slowly backing towards the door.
Hey, Talia, where you going?
all right. So, Hot Trumpet, you and Eldred take care of Reed. Find out what was naked sitting on his chest. That's weird.
Yep,
We
we'll
will help.
unpack the trauma. You go do the heavy
Yeah,
lifting.
unpack the trauma.
Yeah.
FBI,
At this point-
FBI.
At this point, guys pulls out a little doll, hands it over to Butt Trumpet. All right, just give him the point at the doll where you understand.
Oh, stop.
Butt
it.
Trumpet,
Alright.
you've never actually seen a doll before. This is really cute.
I like start playing with it and like making it dance and stuff and kicking its little feet.
Yeah. Oh, that's a little Bacchus.
Aw.
That was at the bottom of my bag for I don't know how long.
Tickle me Bacchus.
No, those were discontinued for legal reasons.
Yeah.
Also, they were highly, highly flammable.
Cosmic copyright.
Anyway, yeah, no, that's the drink with me Bacchus special edition. Anyway, I'm going to walk
All
away.
of a sudden,
from
you
this-
just hear the doll go.
Yeah, I enchanted that one myself. Still not sure how I did that one.
Go help. Go help.
Yeah.
We'll do this.
Nikita, I've kind of dragooned you, but you don't have to help. I'm
No, this is fine. It makes sense.
okay.
Okay, so the two of you go out, and it's a very rudimentary cart with a wheel on each side that are big, and it looks like the wheels might have once been tabletops that have been since kind of refurbished into wheels for this rudimentary cart. You see 3 fairly large deer in the back, as well as a number of sacks with a lot of lumps in them. And Talia goes, picks up the 2 sides, and starts kind of lugging it towards the hill.
All right.
Either one of you give me perception with advantage, or both of you give me a perception.
That's all on G.
All right. So, advantage. I'll take the 26 and not the 10.
Realize that you've been seeing this all along, but for some reason this morning, Gaius and Nikita, you're noticing it even more.
It's that
That-
water I drank. Just clear it away.
There are cats everywhere. Some seem to be by particular buildings. Some are just in the middle of the road. There's one across from the inn when you first come out, sitting on a wall that's blue, that just kind of is staring at you. And as Talia starts wheeling the cart away and you're going along with her, kind of stands up, shakes, hops down, and just kind of starts following you from behind. But the other thing you notice is the large number of crows and ravens and black birds that are perched in trees and on rooftops. Some rooftops have a number of them up there, and yet there are some rooftops that have none. Some are in little groups, kind of picking at the ground around certain areas. At times you can see some of the cats eyeing the birds, but there doesn't seem to be any hostile interaction between them, but they seem very aware of each other. You don't see squirrels, you don't see chipmunks, you don't see rabbits, you don't see people don't really have pets around here either that you're noticing. But there's just a shit ton of cats and black birds.
It's like West Side Story with the cats and the crows.
Anyway, guys,
When
this
you're
is
a
Talia
cat,
with
you're a
Dragging
cat
Apart.
all the day.
I said,
Which
guy,
side you got, guy?
whatever side Talia doesn't, he goes and just assists pulling the cart up.
So you go, you pass the docks, you pass an area where you can see down the hill, kind of into that sunken area with a bunch of those houses up on stilts. Gaius, you notice with that amazing perception that there's a lot of blue in a lot of these houses, but then there's a house that looks, it definitely can't be called a house, but it might be something akin to a tree house, but it looks almost like a tar paper shack that's kind of behind the other houses, kind of in the trees, kind of sitting on some stunted trees, poorly made. Whereas the other things are on stilts, this thing just seems to be placed on a bunch of stunted trees and bushes and stuff wedged between a couple other big trees. You continue on, and when you get past there, you kind of get to the area where the residential area of town is, where people have their homes scattered about. There's little kind of circles of homes with like little communal gardens between them. At the base of the hill, off to the left, kind of overlooking the river, is a really, really nice house there, but it's at the bottom of the hill. Has like a little stunted short tower on the one side. And then you get to the hill, and it's kind of steep, but the road winds around, and you guys really kind of have to lug it up. Talia, why don't you give me a strength check? And because they're helping you, give it with advantage. Take it with advantage.
Yay.
I can be behind the wagon, pushing if need be, or
Okay.
And with the guidance of Bacchus.
Okay. So add a d4.
Yeah, so advantage and then add a d4 to whatever
Oh.
result.
You're good. It is so much easier doing this with help.
Woo!
You've done it once or twice before, but it's almost a
Breeze.
joy to do this at this point.
So Talia, I know you're not you don't live in town and everything, but I was curious. You are somebody who, works in nature and all that. What is with the cats and the birds everywhere? Is there catnip being grown wild in the fields around here?
They've just sort of been around. I can't say for sure if there's any particular reason for it. You know how it is with stray cats, for example. One or two are around, and then they just start breeding almost as fast as rabbits.
Yeah.
And the raven and the crows I don't take as much note of because, well, I keep as much eye out for them as it takes for me to make sure they don't fly off with any of my game. Some of the townsfolk might be feeding some of them. No, a lot of them gather at particular houses between the crows and the cats. Never seems to be the same ones for crows and cats, though.
does
Interesting.
Nikita notice if the blue cat is still following?
Give me a perception check. With advantage, though.
You know what you're looking for.
This is true.
And guy slaps you on the back. I'm sure you know what you're doing. Guidance.
Great cantrip.
Oh, it's the best cantrip. The best utility cantrip created.
Hot damn!
Didn't need it.
You see that cat about 15 feet behind you. You stop and turn, and it takes 2 steps and stops and just kind of tilts its head and looks at you. And it's an interesting looking cat. You've never seen a cat with blue fur before and bright yellow eyes with green irises.
Talia, there's a blue cat following us. Does it normally follow you with the food?
Have I ever seen it before?
You've seen it occasionally. And as a matter of fact, it's been very nice to you on occasion, where it'll kind of wrap itself around your legs in a very kind of friendly way on occasion and purr.
Think it's someone's pet. Friendly enough. Lets me pet it on occasion, but it can't say it's particularly fonder of me than anyone else.
About this time, you make it to the top of the hill, fence around the mayor's estate. The 2 guards at the gate see you coming with the wagon, just open up, don't even stop your question or anything, and they say, well, you know where the kitchen is around back, go ahead.
Just gonna nod and help guide those 2 who are helping me carry the cart in the direction we need to go.
Okay. As you got to the gate, you notice you're joined by another woman, tall, attractive, wearing a white blouse, a bright blue dress, and the guards kind of nod to her also, and she just seems to be heading your direction.
Do I know who she is?
You know she's one of the Geechee, and the Geechee are the people who live in that sunken area in the houses that are on the stilts. It's a pretty close-knit community.
Talia's going to sort of meet her eyes, but not really stop moving unless she makes a motion for us to stop us.
She smiles and nods to you.
Nod back in greeting.
Nikita yells, "Good morning," while pushing.
Oh, good morning. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day for the party.
It is. Hi, hello. My name is Gaius. That is my friend and traveling companion, Nikita. We're part of the
Hello.
reason that there's a party.
Oh, I see. You're helping Miss Talia with the game.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're hunters.
Well, actually, we are a bit of hunters, but we're also
Kind of a little
trying-
rat.
trying to hunt down the missing child for Mr. Marner as well.
Oh,
His daughter that's missing. We were brought out of Seven Rivers here to assist with finding out her location.
oh, that's a long way away. That's
Oh,
a
I
big
know.
city.
Yeah, it's a terribly large city, which I'm discovering I'm not huge fans of large cities after visiting it. It's the largest one I've been to, so granted,
Well,
my track
sometimes
Took
record.
us a long
small
time
towns
to
aren't
get
much
here.
better, she says.
I must say, I've noticed a lot of blue. That is a lovely blue dress you have on.
Oh, thank you very much. I made it myself.
Ah, so not from the seamstress. Nikita, what was her name? Yeah, with a B, I think.
Miss Nikita
Yeah,
giggles
as
a
I-
little like, oh, this is going to be fun.
She says, "You
Nikita
mean
goes in
Miss
the paper lot.
Miss? You mean old Minnie? Miss Minnie Castaverde?
Minnie, there it
Minnie.
is.
I must say there was there was a part of town that had a lot of blue in it.
Yeah,
Also, there was this interesting blue cat following us.
yeah.
Is it still behind us? I must say, like, I am. I'm from a small local town originally, and I have traveled forests and mountains and here and there. I've never actually seen a blue cat before, to be quite honest. And I've seen some wild stuff. Your town has some interesting eccentricities.
You could say that.
Can I do an insight
She's a good
check?
cat. Absolutely.
Not on the cat, on the woman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well,
I'll
then no.
incite the cat. I'm kidding.
There you go.
I'll incite the cat. Just pick up. What are you
There
doing?
you go.
I'll incite the cat. Just pick
Oh,
up.
Oh
Okay.
god, not
There
again.
you go.
I'll incite the cat. Just pick up.
12.
You get the feeling she's trying to be pretty upfront with you, but there's also an air of you're not sure if it's caution or suspicion. And it's about
So
this
what-
time that you get to the back of the house. There's a man dressed rather nicely, but kind of dress casual, in white shirt sleeves there rolled up, a nice set of trousers and nice shoes, having a pipe. Does not look like someone who probably gets their hands dirty, and says, "Ah, Miss Talia and Miss Kitty. Oh, good to see you. That looks like you did quite well.
Grand occasion, grand catch.
Wonderful. I'll have." He opens up the door and points to a couple people, and you see a bunch of big burly guys come out, along with a guard, and they start unloading. And says, "I know we normally pay you at the end of the week, but would you like us to take care of you sooner?"
Let's talk it over later. I need to double check. Well, I have a couple of tools and items that need to be replaced, so maybe a trade later in the week.
Very good, very good. Miss Kitty, I assume you've talked to all of the Geechee and all the Geechee are on board? And she says, "Well, almost." And he says, "Well, wait a minute. What do you mean almost?" "I have not heard anything or seen Mr. Goodry, and I definitely haven't seen or heard from Mama Tar." And he just kind of pauses for a moment and says, "Well, see if what you can do about Mr. Goodry, because his late wife's punch recipe, I think he's the only one who knows how to make it, and the mayor was really hoping for that. And between you and me, Mama Tar wasn't invited. The mayor specifically excluded her." And she just closes her eyes and nods. "I'll knock on Mr. Goodry's door once more." Moves her way through and goes into the kitchen by there, and you're left with the gentleman.
Reese, excellent. Will you be attending the party later today?
I certainly will be.
Okay.
I'll be busy
Yes.
all day, but I'll be there.
Excellent. Well, I don't want to interrupt you because you sound like you're busy now, but we're definitely going to be around ask, obviously, because that's what the mayor wanted to throw the party for us to ask questions. I'm sure I'll probably, somebody who's in the know as yourself, have a few questions to ask that may or may not help us in our investigation. Just to know who you are, and obviously you're the person who gets the things done for the mayor. It's always good to know those people.
Well, thank you. I'll, if I can help, I will.
I
Should be
appreciate
quite a
that.
party. I think you'll enjoy yourself.
While they're having this talk, I want to take a piece of dried meat to offer to the blue kitty.
You
See if I can
take
get
out
around
the
a
meat,
pet
the
from her
cat
today.
comes right up to you, kind of figure eights through your two legs, and then sits right in front of you with the head looking up at you expectantly, and even yawns a little bit.
No need to play coy. And she's gonna bend down, scratch behind her ears a little, and put the meat right in her mouth.
Okay. Kind of leans her head into the palm of your hand as you do that, and also opens up her mouth and, takes the meat and just...
Nikita is watching this. Can I moves and ask quietly to Talia? He said the word Geechee. What is Geechee?
They're a community that live here. You saw the houses on the stilts on the way up, right?
Duh,
They
I did.
they all live here.
Mr. Reese, before we leave, I know you had mentioned that a individual in the community, Mamatar, wasn't invited to the party.
Ah, yes.
I'm curious, A, why, but B, also where she might be located, because if she's not at the party, and I would like to try to talk to as many people as possible about the missing girl, where she might be. So if the mayor doesn't want to bring her, I understand that there might be reasons, but we may want to talk to he or she potentially.
He says, "I understand. I have lots of luck there. I don't know what you could get out of that woman. She's an interesting creature, that one. You'll find her in a shack up in the trees behind the houses."
Tar paper looking, yes?
Yes, that's it.
Excellent. I know exactly what you're talking. I gotta ask though, why is she just that eccentric, or
She dabbles in some arts that are alien to most of us. Even those of us who
Oh.
are familiar and have heard of magic and even seen people do some, as well as our resident spellcaster at the bottom of the hill there.
Oh, is that the nice house I saw there by the river?
Oh,
Or-
yes, yes.
May I ask? I know a member of my party. He's I'm a cleric. He's a wizard, and we have another magic user friend of ours. What is their name? We might want to just talk with them. Maybe trade some notes, trade secrets, that
On the
kind
way
of thing.
back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Carlisle. He'll be at the party this evening, so
Oh,
you can meet
excellent.
him there.
Good.
Excellent, Mr. Carl.
We appreciate you taking the time to speak with us. We're still learning as much as we can about the town.
Oh, glad to be of service. I'm just enjoying my pipe. Why things are a little quiet at the moment. It's going to get busy as anything coming up. So
So what's up with the cats and crows?
From
I don't
behind
rightly
Nikita,
know.
where she's still where Talia's still like kneeling and like petting the kitty, she just gives just a shrug and a shake of the head, like she has no idea why Nikita's obsessed with them.
Guys at
Course.
this point is handing food to Talia to pass to the cat.
the cat will occasionally come over and just kind of sit in front of you guys and look up at you.
He definitely leans down, like hand toward the cat to allow it to sniff him and all that, and then if that occurs, he will magic trick food in the palm of his hand to pass along to the.
Okay, the cat, you put your hand down there at first, juts back a little bit, then kind of nudges forward a little bit and sniffs, and then like takes a little taste of you with its tongue. When you do the magic trick, it once again kind of jolts back a little bit, but then cautiously comes forward and takes the food and then kind of slinks back over to Talia and weaves between her legs again and just kind of stays down there, looking up at Talia, looking over at you. Just kind
Got
of like looking
Guys,
at you,
pours
Talia,
a-
almost like approval sometimes.
Gaius pours a little bit of wine in his cupped hand and just kind of leaves it down there and be like,
Oh my God.
Can I convert cats to Bachism? I'm
Nope.
gonna try.
Sniffs the air, kind of comes over, kind of looks in the hand, sniffs, head goes back, comes forward, head tilts, tongue comes out, takes a little, and like immediately then kind of slinks back to Talia again.
Yeah. Not accounting the taste, then just kind of like takes the rest of it out of his hands. I
After
tried.
the cat licked it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's more of a Jaguar thing. Anywho,
Okay,
Sorry.
so
deep cut into Bakken lore.
anything else to discuss here, or are you going to head back?
No, I'm good. I am still eyeing the blue cat suspiciously.
Okay. Reese says, I don't know. The birds have been here. Just they swarm around here constantly, all year round practically. They've just always been here. The cats, some times of the year there's more than others, but they just make their home here. They just seem to be feral.
Never seen
They,
a blue
uh,
one. That's
Yeah, that's one of the older ones. That one's been here, I think, longer than all the others. Some people, it depends who you speak to. Some people have definite theories about the cats and ideas. I think a lot of them are
Okay.
fantasy, children's stories sort of stuff, but
Fables and whatnot.
kind of, yeah. From what I hear, but
always good to know.
yeah.
There's always a kernel of truth sometimes, I find.
I'll let you be the judge of that, but you know.
But let's be honest, it's always interesting to hear a new tall tale.
No,
Oh.
this is true.
Very much so.
And you'll hear lots of them if you talk to the right people in this town, let me tell you.
I've met some of them at Mr. Sunnyday's establishment.
Ah, yes.
They're kind of the regulars there. They will make your ears bleed if you let them talk long enough.
You
Especially
you
Norm.
feed them or buy them drinks, and you'll have stories for days.
I made that mistake the first day.
Yeah,
worse
they're
than the
good
cats.
guys.
Oh yeah, no.
We will see you tonight. All of you have a wonderful day, Miss Talia. Wonderful job as always. We are so thankful for you.
Happy to do the work.
He looks to you and says, "Best hunter in the entire area."
And I'm hoping to maybe have her help us in our particular hunt if it is needed. Obviously,
Probably a
she
good
can
idea.
find the deer quite easy. So if we get a trail, she'd most likely be very useful.
I would say that's probably a very good bet.
For now, I think
Spasiba.
I'd best be finding something a bit less grimy for tonight's occasion.
All of you have a good day. Talia, you know you leave the card in town, no one's going to touch it. Your day's kind of wide open for whatever you want.
So, you mentioned, do you have any leads to follow? I'm not specifically skilled in hunting people, but
Well, having an extra pair of hands, an extra mind on a task is always helpful, I've found. A different perspective.
Yeah.
And because you may not be from town, but you're from the area, um, are you aware of the Jangle Farm, just outside and north of town?
You know there are a lot of farms, you don't necessarily know people by name.
probably seen them around. I don't know
Hmm.
who owns what exactly.
Well, kind of just out of town. There's one farm that the daughter there was Nikita. You would probably be better to explain this. You actually talked to the girls.
The the daughter had been friends with Veronica, but then something happened with the family, and the daughter was called back, and the other girls now haven't seen them for quite some time. Yeah, another
Like,
mystery,
haven't
like
seen
our
the
blue
family?
the girl or the family. If I
Hmm.
am remembering correctly. They said they were a bit odd, but seems to be pretty common here.
So yeah, we're thinking going to the Jangle Farm and at least talking with them. You're more than welcome to come
Yeah.
if you're available. Like I said, if I know you barter and trade with resources and whatnot. So
I don't need anything fancy, but I don't mind being an extra pair of eyes.
Talia, you also know that you could probably put your cart outside the inn, and no one would bother as long as you're not blocking the door or any of that stuff.
Let me just set this back up at Sunny Days Inn, and
that's good.
Do
We
we
have to
want to
collect
hit?
the rest of our group, right?
This is true. Yeah. Do we want to hit up the mage person on the way back in now, or
Let's.
do you think it will take too much time? There's also the Geechee, the Mama Tar.
Yes. Well, you know what? We're missing 2/3 of our magic users right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we can hit him up when we're at the party. Mama Tar, that may be like the day after the party if we don't get enough
Okay.
potential info. I am curious though because if she is a reclusive magic, that just tickles my fancy with tall tales and stories of witches in the woods kind of nonsense that I enjoy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
maybe she tells fortunes like that one that I. Oh wait, nobody around me right now was with me when I got my fortune told. Never mind. But I can tell you my
Okay.
fortune that I got at one point. It was
Read,
super creepy.
not read. Guys,
Yes.
give me a perception check again.
18.
Okay. Very good. You as you're leaving, you can't help but notice like this place is just crawling with guards. There's guards on the roof. There's guards patrolling the fence. There's guards like on each corner of the house and by a door here. And every door there seems to have a guard there. But yet on the way up, when you left the inn and all the way up, you don't think you saw even one guard in the town.
Talia, kind of gesturing behind him. What's with the guard situation here? Like they're all protecting the manor. Nobody's in the town. Do you know anything about that? Is this standard?
that is the norm. That's tends to be typical. It's the mayor.
Hmm.
Not much
Is
happens
he-
around here, and I suppose if the
Why
guards
is
are going
he
to be focused anywhere,
Just seems excessive.
something happened about a year ago. Don't know exactly what. Had the guard's looking for something or someone, but I don't. But beyond that, there's not much for them to do but protect, I suppose, the highest authority in the land. Like you said,
That's
though,
unusual.
this place is pretty weird.
It's got eccentricities. Nikita, we definitely have to remember to ask some folk about what happened at the mayor's residence. Specifically, let's see if we can find a besotted guardsman.
A what?
Besotted. Drunk to the point of
Thank-
unintelligence.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Nah. Okay.
I drank water today, so I am.
Your vocabulary is just, yeah. Come
Listen,
on, man.
It takes I am just beating the brain cells down. I probably could have been a wizard.
You make your way back into town. You pass by the residential. You see down the hill. You see the houses on stilts and everything, and then you make it into the town proper, and you're back at the inn. And Gaia's through that. You didn't see one guard. Once you left the estate, you didn't see one guard the whole time coming back here.
And the cat?
It's unsettling.
Cat follows you. You get
Right
back
back
to
to
the
it.
inn. Back to the
Community
inn. You
garden.
get back to the inn. The cat climbs back up on that stone wall and just kind of makes itself comfortable and curls up on the wall in the sun.
I give it one of these.
It just looks at you and then yawns
It's a cat.
a big yawn.
Nap time!
Completely
Yeah.
unintimidated. Standard cat move.
Mm-hmm.
Looking completely uninterested in anything you have to say or do for it? Yeah, that sounds like a cat.
Talia, if you feel like joining us, I think we grab our party members. Guess grab the. I forget. This is out of character. Talia's a human, right? That's okay. So we have 3 human people, 2 horses. It's gonna get Talia. Talia, do you have a beast of burden, a steed, a horse to ride on?
No.
Okay, it's going to get super awkward on the 2 horses we have to go to the Jangle farm then. Excellent.
We still haven't figured out, we need to find out if Reed is okay after his naked person incident. So
Oh God, yeah.
maybe some of us stay here.
That sounds like something you might have wanted to report to the guards.
I don't get the vibe from them that they're going to care. If a naked old dude assaulted Reed, we're going to take care of it. Because you
I'm
know
kind
what?
of pissed off. The smell didn't wake me up.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
we kind of police our own thing. I'm also banking on maybe he was hallucinating. He eats a lot of fatty products, and I'm almost certain that's not good for your health.
Nikita
And
fixes
the
a
wine
dead sparrow.
is.
A wine is a poison of my god, so I kind of have to. Listen, I literally got dropped off at an abbey to support a god of excess. So the fact that I can even remotely talk about restraint is actually surprising, to be quite honest. The fact that I'm not helping Reed shove lardy products in his face is, I think, in myself a good amount of self-control.
Priests
you
all
walk-
have
you
their
walk-
eccentricities.
You
Yeah,
walk
I
into
have them in spades.
You walk into the inn as you're having this discussion, and at the table that you've previously shared, you see Eldred and Butt Trumpet sitting there nodding, and you see Reed there with a big plate of bacon shoving in his mouth going, "It was disgusting. I don't think I'll eat for a week. He smelled so bad."
Yeah, actually, I was curious. I didn't know if this would be a Arcana check or history check, but I wanted to know if I knew any particular creatures that behaved like this or matched this description.
Roll me an Arcana check. Give me an Arcana check.
I'm so glad they have bacon now.
17. Everybody but Butt Trumpet, take off your headphones, please.
Ooh. I know stuff.
You've because you don't have a lot of experience in the world, a lot of your knowledge comes from things you either overheard Mamulian talking about or your good friend and master Alistair, Alistair Avatar. And you've heard both of them at one time or another talk about magical beings that will visit you in your dreams. And you specifically remember hearing talk of one of them squatting on people's chests as they sleep. You have heard of this. You don't know what it is, but you've heard it mentioned.
Okay, so I don't know the name, but I'm familiar vaguely.
Correct. You you gathered that it was a malevolent sort of creature, whatever it was.
This was definitely a supernatural experience. I can't put my finger on the name of it right off the bat, but I do know there are creatures that visit you in your dreams, and a couple of them sound like this.
I didn't
Something
even think
is
it was
put-
a dream.
Well, that's the thing. It might have been trying to get into your dreams.
Like through
So
the
some
through the
creature,
gem.
maybe that could be what's drawing it. I don't know. What do you think, Eldred?
Uh,
Yeah, Eldred, what do you think?
I think I need another drink.
You sound like me.
Oh, okay, I can do
Listen,
that.
I don't need to get in touch with my deity this soon after the last time I did it.
Okay.
That was a real wanger I took. Oh,
The idea of something getting into my dreams kind of freaks me out.
Especially when it sits
depends on
on your
the
chest
dream.
to do it.
This is true. Sits on my chest with no clothes on. Yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah.
you prefer it clothed?
I think we
Yeah,
all would.
actually, yeah, I think that would be a lot more welcoming.
I
Maybe some
prefer not at all.
shorts.
At least,
Me too.
Shit. At least a pair of hot pants, right?
right.
Listen, everyone's got their preference.
Tutu and swim fins, I'd be fine.
I'm more of a
Reed-
thigh-high stocking fan, but whatever.
Reed is just burying his head in the bacon. Stop. Oh, stop.
Oh, please, will you stop rubbing your skin in the lard?
Oh, you didn't smell that thing. This is so much better smelling.
The next
I
opening
smell great
sequence, Reed is just going to have a bunch of acne all over his face.
If he doesn't have it, like, on the regular anyway.
Yeah.
You know those really thick white heads, just like that are just
Like,
pure
just sitting
oil, like the
you're
ones
just
that get on your
expecting it
forehead,
to
on your
just-
nose, and they're just like those big white boils that are just full of.
Just waiting for the
See,
mouth to
Reed,
soothe
you
from
could
the-
you could get yourself some legendary actions.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Oh boy.
yeah, you can keep those particular legendary actions.
Mm.
Blah.
Zip popping from a
Anywho.
distance.
Projectile
Anyway.
zip popping.
There it is.
So,
So,
so how do I keep that from happening again if it's trying to get into my dreams? Because my dreams were really good, by the way. They were really, really good, and the there was like good food, and there was like people I like and stuff, and then all of a sudden the guy was sitting on my chest. So how do I not have that happen again?
I mean, I guess the best idea is like some kind of protection remedy, but I definitely wouldn't be the person to trust with that.
oh please, Blood Trumpet, we trust you when it comes to the party's safety. Your magic might be a little eccentric at times, but for the most part, it does what we need.
Well, I
Minus
don't have anything in my
college students.
repertoire at present, but I mean,
Has the
Would the
cannibal rabbit
shield
been
work?
fed? Has the cannibal rabbit been fed today?
Reed, you're
I,
in tra- Have you named the rabbit, Reed?
not really.
Can I name it? I have
If
a name
it's
for it.
good, is it a
Hannibal.
good name?
It's Hannibal.
Okay, sure. That sounds like a good name.
Yeah, Hannibal.
had a bunny.
Second name, yeah. The second name, next pitch I was going to make was Lecter.
I don't know what that means, but sure.
Well, Hannibal, he's
I
a
don't know
great
why,
warrior.
but I'm distantly annoyed by some external entity outside of this realm. That is.
Okay, careful. If you pay attention to it, the fourth wall will come for you.
Isn't this like the voices from last time?
Yeah.
Probably.
Shush. Oh, Reed, I could potentially have a fix for your issue. I have a question, though. Do you have about 200 gold worth of incense and powdered diamond on you?
Eldred says,
No.
"Oh, if I had a nickel for every time I heard that."
I'm really low on
Oh,
gold.
yeah.
I'm almost
Just-
out of money.
Yeah, that's the problem is, yeah, I think I might have a spell for that, but we're broke. You consider that
Can
an
I take
energy?
some bacon up to Hannibal? And I want to check the room for any leftover smell or disgustingness.
To break the fourth wall briefly, it's because I named him after the A-Team member.
Okay.
I love it when a plan comes together.
You gotta-
Okay.
Mm,
I love it when a plan comes together.
you gotta-
Oh, no.
I love
Stop
it when
it!
a plan comes together.
you gotta-
Oh
Okay.
no.
Was it the Reed needle?
Give me an investigation check there, Nikita. She rolled an 11.
11.
You, for a brief second, you think you catch a little bit of a smell, but that could be the bacon. It could just be Reed's bunk and stuff, because it just could be Reed. But the one thing you
Right.
do notice is that the window is open, and there's a little bit of mud on the windowsill.
Interesting.
By the way,
At-
I had washed my clothes the night before, so do they smell like butt? Because they shouldn't.
Depends. Were you wearing
Do
your
they
clothes
smell
to
like
bed?
elderly butts? More importantly.
Yeah. How wrinkled old man butt are they on the scale of 1 to 10?
Well,
Do they
if you
smell?
remember the guy from the Great Adventure ads, no, your clothes are clean, Reed, because you washed them.
Okay. Sorry, back to Nikita.
But
That's
she
okay.
doesn't necessarily know that you washed them.
I will start feeding the Hannibal with the bacon. And okay, next time, if I guess anybody comes into the room, especially if they're naked and they sit on your daddy Reed, wake me the fuck up, okay? That's allowed.
The bunny just seems to be looking and eating, kind of like
I know you know what I'm saying, you little shit.
stops chewing and kind of just
I love that guys
freezes
paranoid,
still,
just wearing off on other people.
and then starts chewing again.
Watching
love
you
the
too.
potential.
There's a weird fucking cat outside. Keep an eye on that too, if you can see it. It's blue. She goes back out.
I just picture the bunny going, "A blue cat? That's weird."
Right?
Yeah.
Was the neon striped bunny?
Right, the
Yeah.
bunny
Yeah.
that's neon orange with yellow and pink stripes that are day glow.
And
I
the
would
rainbow
head back
sherbet
down.
bunny that is now named Hannibal.
You should make sure that that rabbit doesn't kill any of the crows, because crows specifically have a memory. They remember and they will take revenge on behalf of their fallen comrades.
I'm almost certain that the bunny will consume all of the fallen comrades. Nikita, you and Butt Trumpet saw Gigantor bunny or whatever. Oh, what? Hold on. Did you do drugs before you saw those bunnies?
Nope.
No.
Did you drink? I don't know. I gotta
No.
ask.
No, that's your thing. We
I
saw
mean, it
a
is my
bunny the
thing.
size
That's why I
of
gotta
life.
make clarification. I've seen some awesome
Exactly.
stuff when I'm at a good bacchanalia.
I'm sorry,
Well,
did you
we
say the
were
brightly
so-
colored rabbit is the size of your wizard?
No,
Where?
we
Not-
saw
not
one
ours.
that was that big in Seven Rivers.
I can't wait
Calling
until Reed
Big
can ride
Chungus.
Kind of like Bunny King in charge of his territory.
Kong, if you will.
Kong. We've seen weird shit. Speaking of which, Butt Trumpet, I'm not sure this was trying to get into his dreams because our window was open and there was mud on the sill.
Ew.
Did you just have a
Oh,
So
homeless
I
they
think
person
just
that's
got
breaking the
attacked
door?
by a hobo.
Duh. I think we need to look for a naked hobo.
What level is their room on? What level is their room on?
Second.
Did you
And
see
by the
any
way,
signs of
Talia,
how they got up?
the destruction of the description of the bunny makes you realize you've seen baby bears that size.
Yeah.
I don't
After
think,
they
suddenly, I don't think I want to leave.
Talia, are you also intrigued? If somebody climbed through Reed's window, we should check to see if there was mud on the side of the building as well.
This is a good
Thinking the
idea.
same. How did they get in or out without some kind of medium to climb, and how did that not wake anybody?
Well, you know, some people are spry. Even, say, a slightly overweight wizard in armor could potentially climb up and down a building without drawing attention to themselves.
Eldred goes, a wine wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Shut. Why are you perpetuating this? You're just making wizards sound bad when you add me in.
Why? You're a great
Am I,
wizard.
though?
Are you, though? Am I really that awesome that you want to add me to wizard kind? Thank you, Eldred, as Gaius puts his hand on his shoulder. I approve of this interaction, and then walks out the door to go look at this siding of the building to see if there's muddy old dude footprints on this side of the...
Talia's gonna go to help look as well, but before she does, she's gonna look to Butt Trumpets, who somehow has seemed like the most normal one of the party thus far, and say, "I can't tell if those two get along or not."
I've been wondering that like since I joined this party, so it
Well, they're-
alternates depending on the day.
Gaius
best
pokes his
friends.
head in. It's a love-hate relationship. And put...
Go look for Old Man Prince.
Gotta go help look for Old Man Prince.
Nikita leans into Reed's shirt. Is this what you were wearing when you were sleeping? And she starts sniffing him.
That's not fresh
Can we
Reed
wait till
either.
someone's not taking a sip of water next time?
No,
You're welcome.
spit take is important.
I didn't
This
put
is a
on
new
my
camera.
I didn't put on my super clean clothes yet for the party. So yeah.
So standard Reed funk, which
Okay.
is not great.
Nikita, give me an
Have you ever been
investigation.
in a dumpster? Have you ever been at a dumpster in Chinatown?
Stop.
Investigation.
Reed likes bathing.
Does he? I feel like
Yes.
it's forced upon him.
Ah, the good old adventurer stank.
Lucky number 13.
At the end of July, I think needs to be added into that as well. 13. You definitely smell familiar Reed smell.
Pork products.
Please leave it at that. Please leave it at that.
No descriptors necessary.
But you don't think that's what you smelled up there. And the bunny has its own smell that wasn't what you
Yeah.
caught.
Okay, well,
Is
you
it a sandalwood for the bunny? Oh no,
No,
wait, that's Guy. No, I've claimed sandalwood soap as Guy's
Yes, you did.
smell. Sandalwood and cinnamon.
I think sandalwood.
No.
I just think of Clive Barker's Damnation game and the person who in that story who always wanted to smell like sandalwood.
Which is
Anyway.
why I also went with cinnamon to make it slightly different and less Clive Barkery.
Okay.
'Cause this stuff gets weird.
Yep.
If you think
Ours
Hellraiser's
is
weird,
so normal.
read more Clive Barker. It only gets worse.
Early
Blood.
Barker. Okay, so Talia and
That's
Gaius
it.
have walked around outside. One of you can give me a survival check with advantage.
Talia, go ahead with the advantage and guidance,
Ooh.
which I will give you by guys just guzzling wine as we walk around the corner of the building.
14.
14's good. You notice it's almost imperceptible, but a little smear of mud above and to the right of the window that was Reed's window, almost at the windows of the third floor. And you notice at the gutters at the edge of the roof, there seems to be a pretty decent kink just above that.
It's like someone climbed down from the roof.
Where they
Okay.
Or
held on
climbed
it
up.
from above for support.
Or climbed up and over on the way out. Okay. So we see the trail above the window and see the kink in the gutter, but
Oh,
don't spot anything on the way from the ground floor up.
Nope. Or in the ground
Wow.
around it, around you. I mean, there's a lot of movement and stuff because this is around
very
a busy
popular, yeah.
thoroughfare, but you don't spot anything unusual. You don't spot like bits of mud or anything like that that match the mud up there.
Oh, Talia.
Should point that out.
Do you relate that to me? Yeah, I assume.
Yeah, I
you
was
point
just
that
gonna
out.
say, like, I don't see how they could have started from the ground and gotten up, but there's a trail either leaving from the room to the roof, or perhaps climbed down from the roof into the room.
Well, Talia, let's surmise that they are just a physical being at the moment. At this point, Gaius will walk around the building and see if there's like rain gutters leading up, like a means of getting to the roof that is easier for a person to climb.
A fire escape or a ladder nearby, or
Yeah, what's the fire code for Forest
yeah,
Grove?
is this building up to code?
Code?
Do
Yeah.
they have
What's the code?
Are the exits clearly labeled?
The fire code is S807.6, so you can
Yes.
do with that what you want.
Well, if there's
Bit out of
gutters,
date.
well, I'm assuming there's like at the very least rain gutter leading down kind of thing.
there is
the
a
water
rain
runoff.
gutter leading down into a rain barrel.
So
And
Gaius just
it-
walks around and inspecting that stuff to see if he could see someone using it to ascend.
Give me an investigation check real quick.
Seeing as I didn't prep any other spells, I will just give myself guidance for this because I am otherwise incompetent when it comes to investigation. Otherwise, and then add stop investigation. Otherwise,
Oh, no!
And then incompetent over and
Stop.
over again. Aha! 14
Oh,
plus
no!
3. Incompetent over and over
Stop.
again. Aha! Not incompetent. 14
Oh,
plus
no!
3. Incompetent over and over again. Incompetent.
Aha!
Not incompetent.
14
Oh,
plus
no!
3. Incompetent over and over again. Incompetent.
Aha!
Not incompetent.
14
Oh,
plus
no!
3.
Incompetent.
That is
Only
literally, that is what madness sounds like.
Yeah, I was about to say that is what a specific layer of hell sounds like.
That I actually think is maybe like a layer of Gaius' mind.
You don't see anything that shows any disturbance in the rain spout or anything anywhere else. You also don't find anything around the ground. There are any unusual tracks or footprints or anything. Definitely not bare feet or anything like that.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm relaying all this to Talia as I, with my magnifying glass.
The half wrinkle that exists on my brain said when you said no bare feet, I thought you were talking like bears, and I'm like, aren't we looking for a person? Why would he be looking for bear tracks?
Oh, sorry. With a individual without shoes.
Lots of cat paws, though.
Yeah.
He was a
Anywho,
cat the whole
yeah.
time. Mystery solved.
Yeah, meow. Oh God! I mean, he did sit on Reed's chest, right? That is a total cat move.
Yep.
Wait, did he smother
Yep.
him under his body, over his face, which is also a
First thing in the
very
morning.
unsettling image? If it's a
Was it a
naked human
15?
man,
That thinks it's a 15-pound cat either way sitting
Ah.
on your face.
oh God! Oh, this is bad.
Oh,
Okay,
and
we're
he's
gonna
naked.
pretend-
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh well, no. At this point, like Talia, Gaius just breaks out a wine sack, starts guzzling it and passing it to Talia.
So you
Erase
know,
the
Reed,
memory
it
from your
certainly
head.
felt like a lot heavier than 15 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can't find a way that they would have gotten up from the outside, at least. But there is a chance perhaps they started on an upper floor and made their way down. We could ask Sunny Day if there was anyone in that room last night.
Now I'm not going to discount Bud Trumpet's summation that it could be metaphysical or magical arcane in nature. Though the fact that it left the room kind of is arguing against that. But
So if it's magical, then do you have
they
any?
wouldn't have had to leave it. Well,
Do you have any items or or like strange summoning magics, the kind that make the freaky rabbit go off in the room last night, that could have brought it into the room?
no. But I'm almost certain our wizard Eldred has the alarm spell. And he could he could arm that in the room with Reed. At the very least, if it happens again, that will set it off and alert us to the interludes, the interlopers' presence. And luckily, that's a ritual, so it won't even cost them any kind of like spell power or anything, because it only a couple 10 minutes or something. At least that's when I cast.
There's a
something.
distinctly lost to expression to her face as soon as you started mentioning that it was like a ritual and spell power, and this is a very mundane human girl that has no reference for magic and casting.
And you see the excitement in Gaius's eyes because he loves explaining magic to people. And we'll cut to wherever Paul wants to take us. But then Gaius breaks out a pamphlet with like rituals and you. And he's like, this is the difference between ritual magic and spontaneous spellcasting. And cut away. And I'm assuming Talia is suffering through that.
It's kind of the cross between having the Jehovah Witnesses at your house and a guy trying to pick you up in a bar.
Wine-splaining.
Oh god, he's wine-splaining. Oh no.
Well done. Well done.
He is innocent and pure when it comes to his religion, though.
There's just like Talia nodding at the right intervals, but there's definitely like a checked out look if you stare deep enough into her eyes.
As long as Gaius can pass along the information, rituals take longer, spells shorter. That's the granted, he goes into a long-winded diatribe, but that's the information he's trying to get across.
Oh, are we going to the Jangle Farm?
Yes, I assume. Like, this has happened in the 10 minutes since we got back.
Okay.
We will convey that we found out that that creature either climbed in from the roof or out onto the roof, but we can't see where any trace of it having started on the ground or ended there.
Very, very weird.
Okay.
Also,
Well, we're gonna make sure his window is locked.
Yeah.
Also, Eldred,
Yeah.
for tonight, and maybe while we're still present in town, maybe use that alarm spell you have.
Oh, I can do that.
You keep an eye on Reed. That way, if something else happens if it's physical breaks in, that way we can potentially determine if it's something magical or not. And also Eldred, butt trumpet. We found that there is a confirmed magic user in town, Mr. Carlisle. He's got a house
Carlisle.
down the river by it's one of the third nicest house. We'll just call it that.
Oh,
Down the hill, at the bottom of the hill.
Down the hill.
Has a
Yeah, by the
tower.
river. Yes, has a tower. So I don't know what particular brand he might be, but we would definitely want to try to talk to him either tonight or today, depending upon who wants to go to the Jangle Farm. In the part of town with stilts, there is a Miss or Mrs. Mamatar. It's the
Mama Tar.
ramshackle tar and paper house. She may or may not also be a magic user of one form or another. She probably isn't invited to the party from the information we gathered, but it might be someone of interest to talk to.
Yeah.
I don't know which one of those, like, at some point, definitely one of the three of us or all three of us might want to approach both of them, if not for finding the missing girl. But I know, Eldred, you're always in the mood, or to potentially learn new spells. If
Do-
they happen to be a caster of your particular flavor.
Do you know why she wasn't invited?
She kind of had this
Gives the willies to the mayor.
to use like the tall tale variation, the witch in the wood kind of vibe to the mayor.
Is that
So-
a good reason to not invite her to a party where all suspicious people should be invited to be questioned?
Exactly why we should talk to her, because
Okay.
she may have information. I just wanted to, before I forgot, tell our fellow magic users that these are two people of interest specifically, potentially for us, if not for our investigation, just for personal growth or just a people that we would probably need to be there for when we question them, because we'll understand more what they're talking about than others.
Understood.
Like you, I, and Butt Trumpet might be the ones that most need to talk to Carlisle and Mamatar out of anybody else. No offense to Reed, Nikita, Talia, included at the moment. She just got a download of what is ritual casting compared to spell casting, and I don't know if
I
it
am
all
so
took.
sorry.
She's still staring a bit disoriented at the pamphlet.
Oh,
She's not
Ooh, you
reading
got a
it, but she's
pamphlet.
just staring at it.
Yeah.
You got a
So
pamphlet.
needless to
That's
say, yeah. So needless to say, you know what, Reed? Out of everybody else, I'd probably take you along as the most been around spells the most in the party.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely.
You've at least been exposed to the most magic, as he kind of like glares at where your stone should be. But anywho, yes. So if you interact with them, I think party member wise, at least one of us should be present, if not all of us. I think we should head to the Jangle farm before,
Yeah.
because it's still early morning, despite everything that happened.
Bitch.
It's
late morning.
It's mid morning, bordering on
Yeah.
a little bit later. So you head to
So-
the Jangle farm.
We get our horses to make it quicker. At least that's Gaius's pitch. It's going
I
to
make
be
sure the bunny's in Eldred's room.
super awkward. I don't know if Eldred is coming or whoever.
Eldred goes,
You're
"I'll
up.
come. I'll stay. Whatever you want. I don't care." They got ale.
We shouldn't split up with the naked old guy pushing on my head.
I can stay with Eldred. We can keep an eye on the inn, the Blue Cat, Mr. Cheerful Pants, and if there's any naked people.
Are you sure you don't want to come, Nikita?
I do, but like you said, the poor horses, I don't think.
Well,
I'm
Between-
short, but I'm not light.
no. I mean, you are lighter than myself, or even Talia. Sans
No, I'm
armor.
pretty sure I'm heavier than Talia.
I'm not going to go there.
Don't.
As a dude, I don't go there. But anyway, I think between Talia and I, we equate you, Reed, and Butt Trumpet. So if Eldred decides to stay back, Talia and I can have a horse apiece, and then I will. Nikita, you and I can ride together, and Talia can take Reed and Butt Trumpet. That seems
That would somewhat fair.
scalish would work. And Eldred, Gaius leans in and just gives him like the stuff that he's collected from his holy hallucination.
Okay, so stuff like what?
Well, no. Just kind of leans in and goes a little bit more in depth. Just like, it's like, Eldred, you and I have been friends the longest. I almost certain that this was an hallucination. It was some kind of holy intervention of some kind or another. I'm not sure, though. If, through your listening while you're in town, if you hear anything and explaining about the wine cellar or anything else, just keep your ears open.
Will do.
You're a smart guy. You know what to do.
Oh, thank you.
There's
listen.
also a blue cat out front. Keep an eye on that.
Also,
You think it
Nikita's
was
assessed with the cat. We're not sure if she's going to make it a pet or not. Just FYI.
Right. Okay. Reed, do you want me to get some flowers for when you split up with this person who you slept with last night?
Don't be a dick, Eldred.
What?
Well, I did I misunderstand that?
Probably.
I was
We're leaving.
paralyzed.
We're leaving.
I couldn't
Yeah.
move.
Eldred,
We're
look
just
up
pulling
night terrors.
Reed out the door.
Eldred, look up night terrors in a book.
Okay, so
Turning to Nikita, do you think you could be the director of human resources for this group?
Me?
Oh
Yes, you.
no!
As the second least, as the second most offensive person we have in the party, I can't do it.
Who do we talk to if in HR when we have an issue with HR?
Yeah.
Gaius, maybe? Bring it to your cleric, and then I'll kick it up to higher authority.
Eldred says, "You can talk to me. It'll be fine."
No, you're the people we have problems with. Anywho, yeah,
Okay,
All the
so
horses.
Jangle.
yeah, we mount up to the Jangle farm.
okay, Eldred goes down, plants himself at the table with a book, a large, what looks like possibly a spell book. Orders an ale. As you go out, Gaius will just say, with your perception, you just hear him say, "Just keep them coming," and you're out the door. And
It's gonna be useless later.
before Sunny Day goes in the kitchen and says something, and he comes out and says, "Your horses will be right here."
Thank you, Mr. Sunny Day.
Yeah.
Taalia's
Spasibo.
gonna let Sunny Day know that one of your gutters is bent.
How the fuck did that happen? Damn cats. Anyway.
Naked old dude.
He says, "What did you say to me?"
I said, better be glad it wasn't a naked old dude. Better be glad it wasn't a naked old dude.
Oh my god.
Better be glad it wasn't a naked old dude.
Oh my god.
Better be glad it wasn't a naked old dude.
Oh my god.
I'm not feeding into this.
Paul has weaponized this.
Star is taking
No,
notes.
this is proven. Paul,
I
I'm
feel
never
like this
giving
is
you
like
the website for my goddamn soundboard because you would be useless as a DM if you had it.
I feel like this is like it has its own comedic timing.
Yes.
Jangle Farm. Let's just.
Farm. Farmyard.
Okay, so the horses are brought back. You get on the horse and head out to the Jangle farm. Gaius, give
Does
me a
the cat
perception check,
follow?
please.
10.
You notice, and we'll say that Nikita, because you know what, Nikita, give me a perception check with advantage because you're so focused on this cat.
I am. Blue cat's got me freaked out.
She's just an old kitty.
Okay. You notice that you get out and you saddle up and you start heading towards there's a part of the woods that separate there's a little section of woods that separates the town, the village from the farmland, but there's like a cutaway road that goes through there. And Nikita, you notice that as you guys start trotting over, the cat gets up and starts kind of following you, just kind of like moseying along and keeping an eye on you. And then you get to the where you start entering the wood, and the cat just kind of stops and sits in the middle of the road and watches as you continue on. And you do notice some. We've entered back country. Good thing I brought my attorney with me. Okay, so you notice that the trees, there's still crows and ravens and blackbirds and stuff in the trees in the woods here. But there don't seem to be any cats here. And then you get out the other side and start going down the dirt road between the fields. And every now and then you see some crows or blackbirds in the skies circling around, just kind of flying. Other than that, you get over to the Jangle Farm in about an hour and a half. You go up a pretty long, winding drive that's just a dirt road up to the farm. It's late morning, so you notice that they're kind of bringing in some plows and such to a large barn. You see some people. You see a young lady headed over to another barn with what look like two large buckets. There's a fair number of people working on the farm.
Nikita, do you remember the name of the person that we'd be looking to talk to?
Estelle or Estella?
You get up kind of parallel just before the farmhouse. There's a guy in overalls who's bringing a couple sacks to the front porch and looks and says, "Can I help you?"
Hello, sir. We are in the process of investigating the disappearance of Veronica Marner and the name of I believe, pardon me if I'm wrong, Estelle or Estella Jangle was mentioned as someone who knew Veronica?
Yeah, I think she knew of Veronica. I don't think she was allowed to be around her anymore, though. I don't think she's been around her for a while.
Wasn't
I don't think-
allowed?
Yeah, so I don't think she's going to be any help to you because she's been here on the farm pretty much every day. She doesn't go into town anymore.
Okay. Would you mind explaining to me why Estella was not allowed around Veronica?
Yes, I would, as a matter of fact, because I don't see how our family business is any business of yours, little blue person.
Terribly sorry. No, I meant no offense. We're simply trying to understand a disappearance. That is all. We were hired to do this. It is not meant to impose on you.
Well, I appreciate that, but I suggest you look back to your employer. That old fuck is probably the one responsible if that girl's gone disappearing. Either he did something himself or she was just trying to get away from that miserable old bastard. And
We
I'm
have
trying to
heard
be
this
as
a
nice
lot.
as possible, so you know.
This is why we wouldn't mind speaking with Estelle, just what she remembers from beforehand, even anything, like you said, any details we can learn about Mr. Fuckhead or Marner. That's it. Sorry.
No, you were right
Um,
the first time.
I
Can
kind
I
of figured.
insight him to see if
Sure.
he's trying to run off the party because he knows more than he's letting on, or just because of sheer hatred for this person?
Absolutely.
Is my insight great? Oh.
While all this is going down, Gaius is going to lean into Butt Trumpet, tap them on the shoulder, and casting Enhance ability gives them Eagle Splendor. So Butt Trumpet now has, for the next hour, advantage on all charisma checks.
Ooh.
I lean
15?
in. You can now just talk to whoever.
Chat it up,
Make
baby.
Magic happen.
Talia, your insight is that this person was really nice until you mentioned the Marner. There is a lot of hatred there. And if you're associated with Marner, this person doesn't really want to deal with you.
You know,
That's what Talia, you personally kind of gathered from this.
we're not here for the reward of finding her. Well, at least not for him. We're not here for a reward from him for finding her. We're here for her. She used to wander around the woods where I hunt a lot. Seemed like a innocent enough girl. Just kind of want to make sure she's still kicking.
Give me a persuasion check.
Fuck!
And that was pretty good. Take it with advantage.
Okay.
You have to beat an 18 by this guy.
Dang! That's so close. 17.
Okay. He just kind of stands there looking at you, and the head's kind of bobbing a little bit, but he's not saying anything.
We hold no emotional connection to this whatsoever. If anything, this job was sort of dropped on us, and we're already on our way to look for missing children in general, and this is just one thing to cross off the list. So it's not that we're trying to do any of this for our own benefit. It's simply trying to find whatever information we can, even if Veronica maybe got up to some things that she shouldn't, it would be helpful to know, and we certainly hold no ties to preserving her reputation.
Give me a persuasion check
Persuasion?
with advantage because Gaius gave you.
Magic.
Splendor.
The magics.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a 21.
I cast
Very good.
powerful magics.
He says,
If we can't be
Estelle
charismatic,
Estelle
with
has
magic or
chores to
whatever.
do, but I could probably spare her while she takes a little break. She's over there. Don't take too long. Don't upset her. And when you're done with her, no disrespect, but get the fuck out of my farm.
Thank you very much for your
Understood.
time, sir. We will certainly abide by this.
Correction.
Spasiba.
Get the fuck off the farm. And he turns around and walks away.
Oh.
Okay, let's head towards Estelle.
Well, he was pleasant.
Oh yeah. Well, at least I don't think he's Mr. Jangle. I wonder if his name's Bo.
There's history.
Let's head
That's
towards
for sure.
Estella.
Okay.
Duh. Talia,
You,
we have also heard Sunny Day had run-ins with Marner as well. It sounds like Marner takes the land or their businesses away from them somehow.
Oh, it's
Do
just.
you know anything?
Oh, sorry. Oh, you were asking Talia. You weren't throwing it up to the party. Forgive me.
Kind of Talia, but anybody? Because she mentioned there's history.
That's just what I took off of. He really sort of clammed up the second you mentioned Marner. I don't know. I don't exactly have any land ownership disputes that I get dealt with. I kind of live off of the land as opposed to owning it. So I don't know any
Yeah.
details on what the history is. It was just pretty obvious he didn't like that guy.
I'm getting the vibe that from this point on, we should not say that we are working for the Marner family.
Mm.
We could say that we were hired,
Mayor?
maybe by the mayor. It seems less of a thing
Mm.
to look into, or
The Baron?
just say that.
Could we say that we were hired by the Baron? Wasn't it someone from the palace or something
Yeah.
that
Say-
technically
say-
brought this
say
to
we-
us?
Say we were just dispatched from Seven Rivers because there was a missing girl in town. I'm getting the vibe that the more we say his name, the less we're getting from
Fourth.
people at this point.
No,
Yes.
that's fair. That's fair.
It almost seems
Okay.
like there's we do have to talk to this Carlisle person, but it seems that there's the mayor and Marner are on one level, separated from the rest of the population. Obviously, if Marner had any clue about where his daughter was, we wouldn't be here.
Mm.
I also get the idea that if he wasn't under the impression that his daughter was going to be betrothed to the Baron, I don't know if he would be looking for her as hard as he is, which is a sad thing to say. But
Seems that way, though.
Yeah.
he values commodities. I mean, just so you guys are aware, when we went to tell him and we happened to drop the nugget that Mr. Worthington had passed, we did it to Marner and the mayor. Both of them had apparently made overtures to immediately purchase the Worthington furniture business,
Wow.
all right off the bat. I'm also curious because now both of them are up and above, but I'm almost wondering if the mayor and Marner might be in competition because, to be quite honest, they're the only two who are on equal footing here.
Well,
So I don't know if
one
there's some
thing
kind
at a
of.
I
time,
gotta
because we're
I gotta say, this is all interesting stuff for you to think about, but I think continuing to say the guy who everyone around here seems to hate's name out loud in a field full of working people that hate him is probably not going to do well for your interrogation at this place.
Yes.
Duh.
yeah. Let's go find Estella and get through that first, and then we'll go forward with the next steps and the next people we need to see.
Ooh,
Yeah.
butt trumpet. Just say that we were hired from somebody in Seven Rivers. Because
Was already planning on
if
it.
yes, because it could be implied that Chip hired us,
The boyfriend.
the boyfriend.
Ah, good thinking.
We can't
That
divulge
water
that
really did do
information.
you good.
I
Okay.
think I need to drink more of it
At least
On
a
a
giant
semi-
pitcher a day.
once a morning. Yes.
Okay. What's Estella doing?
You head over, you see the gentleman that you were speaking to kind of gives a berth and heads over by Estelle, whispers something in her ear. She looks over her shoulder at you, looks up at him, nods, and he goes off, giving one final look back towards you before going in the barn. And she puts her stuff down and just kind of stands there.
All right.
Kinda like
well,
waiting for
I'm
you.
going to approach her.
Okay.
Going to approach her. Good morning, Estella.
Hello.
Don't worry, we don't want to take up too much of your time. We know that you're busy here. We were dispatched from Seven Rivers. There was some curiosity as to a disappearance from someone in the area. And we've been trying to find anybody who might be familiar, wondering if they can give us any extra information. We spoke recently with the Fairfaxes, the Greens, and what was the other family name? Well,
Ackerman.
Michelle Ackerman. Michelle, Gabby, and Rachel had mentioned you before.
Well, that was awfully nice of them.
They happened to mention that you had come across they referred to as the snooty Veronica.
Well, she always did think she was better than all of us.
I'm terribly
I mean,
sorry.
she
to
didn't
hear
come
that.
right out and say it, but she didn't have to. Always flaunting her new clothes and her new things and what other people gave her.
Not very fair, and that's not very kind to those around you, and we all know
No, it's
people like
not.
that. I'm terribly sorry.
Thank you. It's very nice of you.
Well, this looks like a very plentiful farm, and it wouldn't be able to get this way without the hard work of the people here, and I'm sure that that involves you.
Give me a perception check there, Butt Trumpet.
Yeesh, that's a 3.
You...
Look, a bird!
Look, a distraction.
The one thing you will say with a 3, the only thing you notice is that her eyes seem to well up a little bit.
Yes, Stella, I'm sure you've heard about the disappearance, though I know you've been busy and instructed to stay at home.
That's right.
If there is any information or memory or recollection of anything that she may have been particularly boasting about or bragging about in the past, it would help us get this
Yes.
job taken care of.
She kind of... It's one of those laughs that's kind of pathetic because there's no happiness in it. She just goes boasting. All the boys liked Veronica. All the people thought she was so pretty. Rachel and Gabby and Michelle just, because she had all that money and all that, they just kissed up to her but then said things behind her back. I just didn't know how to keep my mouth shut. And I blame myself. She just knew everybody liked her. Everyone thought she was great, she knew. Even though it sounds like some people were just being nice to her because. But, yeah. She, I feel bad because I don't miss her. I haven't missed her since I wasn't allowed to go into town anymore. Didn't miss her back then either. It's just not fair.
No,
Just not fair.
No,
I
it's
should have
not.
kept my mouth shut.
kept your mouth shut.
Yeah. None of this would have happened if I had kept my mouth shut.
Whatever you're referring to, you cannot possibly put all of that on you. That's far too much gravity to put on one person.
There are coincidences, and then there's just... Veronica always got her way, and if she didn't, she made sure that... I don't want to say someone paid for it, but she made sure she got what she wanted. Whether it be from her daddy, or from someone who liked her. She had a cruel streak. I'll say that. At least to people like me. Like I said, I should have kept my mouth shut.
No. You're helping. You're helping, and whatever you think you're responsible for, which don't you dare put this on your shoulders. If anything, it would help. It would help, and it would do a lot of good if you could tell us anything.
She starts to actually catch in her voice a little bit, and the tears come, and she's like, "Nothing's going to change it. If I had kept my mouth shut, my family might still have their farm. Because it was after that we started having some bad luck, and then Mr. Marner, this is his farm now. We just work here." And
I take Estella's hand. I take Estella's hand and I pat it. You wanted to be an honest person. There's nothing bad about that.
She just
What did the girls say?
They just always kind of made fun of the fact that she always had new clothes, had grown-up jewelry a lot of times that we don't know, we thought that was weird because who gives... Girls like us don't get grown-up jewelry. And she always talked about all the boys liking her, everything, and then all of a sudden she couldn't even be bothered to walk. She had Richie drive her everywhere.
Richie?
The guy that runs the Marner estate for them, that does all the work.
Oh, I see.
But they never said that to her face. I did, and then everything went bad.
That does not make anything your fault. If they didn't want something like that getting out, if they didn't want those cruel thoughts getting out there, they shouldn't have said anything. You can't go around being two-faced like that, being dishonest with a person, and then spouting to the heavens the cruel things you really feel. If you don't like a person, you don't have to be around a person. If you hadn't said something, somebody else would have. That isn't on you. I'm sorry this is happening to your family.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I hope nothing bad happened to Veronica, but I'm still not sorry to see her gone. I know
It's
that's a bad
understandable.
thing to say, but
No, it's not. If someone was vindictive and took that out on you, that's not anything you need to feel guilty about. You're not obligated to think of someone positively like that.
thank you. That means a lot. In the distance, you're Estelle? Break's over. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to get back to work now.
It's all right. We appreciate you taking the time to speak to us.
I hope I hope it helped.
It did.
You're,
A
you're
great
a
deal.
very nice little person, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Kind of sniffles and wipes her nose and rubs her eyes and turns around and grabs the buckets that she had and goes back into the barn.
I'll wait till she's out of earshot. Okay. Teenage girls being teenage girls. Let's
So
walk a little
her
bit out of
dad-
the way.
her dad bought this farm?
Yeah.
It seems to be a trend with him. Something bad happens to a family. I'm almost curious if we should look into the Worthingtons.
It plays into your
See.
theory.
Well, it's not a theory, but if what Estelle said was true, which we won't necessarily argue that she didn't, that she might have said something negative about Veronica, then bad things happened, which allowed the Marners to purchase the property. And now they're trying to do the same thing to the Worthingtons. There was a bunch of girls that did die along with the patriarch delivering the supplies. I don't know if we ever determined if any of them were friends or acquaintances with the girl
Worthington
or the
was
Marner
not
family.
mentioned.
Worthington wasn't mentioned, but we don't know if they were of the same age or group. I don't want to associate some grand power to Marner, because it implies that he sowed bad seed with Estelle's family or conjured bad magic. And he doesn't necessarily strike me as that as of yet. I don't want to make any assumptions.
Cold businessman, but not
Like
malice.
when we told him that the Worthington when Joshua was
Josiah.
dead, he was surprised by it.
Duh.
So he's definitely cold, calculating, and will take advantage of things. But I don't know if it was like something that he purposely made happen, if you will.
Duh.
Could that have happened? Sure. But Estelle saying something bad about Veronica and then the property being bought up could have been coincidence, but maybe not. We'll keep that
Well,
in the
didn't
back
you
of
hear
our
what she said? She said that
Was-
Veronica always got what she wanted, and if she didn't, then somebody paid for it. She loved boasting about how everybody loved her so much, and then she finds out somebody didn't, and she got vindictive, and maybe she told her father that they were getting slandered around town.
I don't want to throw too
Real
many.
quick, are you guys standing there in the farm or are you heading back?
No.
I'm assuming we're walking and talking,
Okay.
Yeah, we're walking away.
Just
from
making
the
sure.
area.
going back
Yeah.
and stuff.
He told us to GTFO, and we are not lingering.
We are GTFOing.
Talia, please interject because even though you're not necessarily a firm member of the community, but you know them better than us, if anything stands out to you. But I'm thinking the other thing we need to potentially consider is it sounds like Veronica left of her own free will, potentially. What else could she have done? This downfall that happened to Estelle, I don't think...
Did they say when the purchase was? And when that lined up with when Veronica disappeared? Like, how long before?
It was a few weeks before, I think.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, something like that.
Veronica didn't disappear until after Estelle had to no longer go into town.
Okay.
So Estelle couldn't go into town, and then Veronica disappeared. I don't want to assume anything negative of our probable victim that we're looking for. But we also might want to consider, now that we know that there are magic users in town, there's more going on. There is not necessarily nefarious, but underhanded dealings going on in town that some people are aware of. Something happened where somebody apparently tried to steal something from the mayor a year ago. This sleepy little town is more than that. So potentially the person we're looking for might not necessarily be a pure, innocent snowflake.
Oh, I already came to that conclusion the moment that Estella started tearing up. Veronica had enemies, that's for sure.
Either
But
that or
she
she
probably
cared.
didn't.
Either that or she cared deeply for Veronica, potentially, and Veronica betrayed her.
That's entirely possible, yeah.
Potentially.
I'm not ruling anything out yet.
Exactly.
Don't be
That's what I
afraid to be suspicious.
Talia's
Yeah.
got it in one. That's what I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
basically, through my long-winded manner, bring out. That,
Your priest
Potentially.
contract.
yeah, it's contractual. Obligated to say a minimum amount of words a day. We might want to, because I'll be quite honest, all the extra crows, the super creepy scarecrows around in each field, the excessive amount of cats. Did you notice the weird amount of blue in the stilt area
Geechee
where
area?
Geechee live? Like those, I don't want to necessarily associate with magic, but they definitely associate with some kind of ritualist, maybe religious connotations. So, if Veronica dabbled, got to know about these things, and was not keen on her father's plans, might have done stuff for the area.
This
Things
chip
we want to keep in
or
mind.
some other gentleman that she's talking to, I think it must have been a lot more serious than the first diary led on because Estella mentioned the adult jewelry, like grown up jewelry on a teenager. So that must have been some kind of gift to her.
Well, if we are to take Mr. Marner at face value, and she is the betrothed of the Baron, getting that kind of jewelry would be acceptable, I would think. I don't know where else would. Mr. Marner doesn't strike me as somebody who would just buy overly gaudy jewelry for his daughter in
Yeah.
in the
That's what I'm
town.
saying.
So we have to. That means we have to lend credence to the Baron being the betrothed. She probably doesn't want it. She may or may
Yeah.
not be interested in ship the tobacconist apprentice
Gotcha.
or whatever weird.
Yep.
She's not interested in the old man. She wants someone her age. Makes sense. And if her friends are right, she is not one who doesn't like getting what she wants.
She is also not one, Estelle even mentioned it, the other girls as well. She is not one who wanted to walk anymore. She had Richie, Mr. Horseman, drive her everywhere. The other girls mentioned it as well, which is weird. That makes me think, did she not want to walk or was she not able to walk anymore?
Is there a chance she
Sometimes,
wasn't allowed to?
Well, that's an easy thing to fix. We got to talk to Richie, obviously.
yeah, yeah,
If we think she had access to give Estelle credence that bad luck started happening to her, we should probably talk to the local magic users that we might assume can be
yeah,
employed that might cause a curse or something along the lines. So we talked to Carlisle, we talked to Mamatar, see if potentially Veronica came to them or Warner. I think those are
And we
our
could talk to
avenues.
Richie at the party.
Yes.
yeah,
Also, we should just talk to everybody at the party, but specifically, we want to make sure somebody talks to Richie, somebody talks
yeah.
to Carlisle. If Mama Tar shows up, talk to them. If not, we make them a priority for after the party. And
No
maybe
matter
double
who you
back.
talk to or when, don't be afraid to assume the worst of the people here.
Talia, you're going to have to elaborate just a touch.
You said it yourself. I don't have any details to give, but this place is off. You already know that. You already can tell yourselves that things work weirdly around here.
I mean, just from my perspective, the fact that there is not a even remotely predominant religion here of one form, and not even anything like hell. Going to Stoats Hole, the town of frickin' nasty weasel meat, there was at least a religious agnostic individual there to support the town. I had a conversation, drinks with him. This town has nothing. Like that
Nothing that's
is
spoken aloud.
nothing that is on board and like with the people. The fact with Agichi, as an example, when we passed the Stilt Town, there was an obsession with the color blue. Blue bottles hung from the trees. The houses were painted in different areas, but the doors blue. Usually, when you paint doors and window sills and stuff, you use that as like a potential warding, potentially even an acceptance of certain types of like spirits or something. At least in the things I read when I was being trained. This could be completely off base. And also, I won't lie, I'm a fan of tall tales and stories. So some of my impressions might be colored by bards at this point. But the fact that, for at least in like the Gishi territory, there seems to be this overt nod toward things that hint toward a religious connotation makes me curious.
Then why not
And then, of
talk to them
course,
sooner rather than later?
I plan.
Having
I
the
plan
information ahead of time going into the party so you can find any supernatural undertones when what people are talking about or doing might help you in their interrogation while you have the large gathering, especially
Yeah.
considering they're leaving out a potentially important figure because of whatever weird witchy vibes she gives off to the mayor.
Depending upon when we get back, I was going to pitch maybe trying to see Mamatar. We'll see what
Are
time we
we
get back.
passing by that area when we go back into town, or no? Have I got the geography wrong?
No, it's the road goes out. The town proper would be on the right side, and
Mhm.
a little bit further away is that downhill section where the Geechee live.
Okay.
Also, not just with the Geechee, the fact that there is an overabundance of cats and blackbirds. I don't care how much you feed cats or how many feral cats you have. There is not enough prey animal. There's not enough food you can give that this many stray cats will stay in this area. They will spread out. They're hunters. They claim territory. This is not normal. It is almost like the cats are protecting the town from the birds because the birds are outside of the territory as well, and they seem to give, at least from my impression, an eye toward one another.
Well, these are all things to consider one at a time, though, and like maybe as we talk to more people, we can make more of the connections. But they're all things to keep in mind. So the question is, where do we go next?
Head back to town. If we have time, my pitch for the group is maybe talk to Mamatar if they are around and see if they know anything about the girl.
Yep, either Mamatar or Carlisle, either one. And
Did we want to hit up the seamstress again and see if there was a secret diary?
We could pop in there again and
If it's
see
on
if
the
she
way.
had if she had a workstation that she went to, not necessarily because she needed to, but because she could. We could see if there's a drawer or table in there where she kept something.
Yeah. But Trumpet, what? Speaking of the seamstress, what will you be wearing tonight?
That's a great question.
They might have something.
Dragon onesie.
Or a suit jacket with a dragon on the lapel.
Very true. We can
They
can
were
look for that.
Sewing
as well.
suits for toddlers.
Excuse, as going to see the seamstress for possible clothing. Hey, by the way, did she have a workstation?
Mm-hmm.
All plausible.
Okay.
I have
Just a thought.
cleric garments. That's what I'm wearing in case anyone's curious. Vestments.
Okay, so you've traveled on the main road that will take you back towards the town. You enter, as you're traveling, you still notice the blackbirds in the sky. Some are circling in different areas. You head into that, into the darker area of the woods that you travel for a while, and you can still hear the call of birds here and there. And as you're coming out the other end after about 20, 30 minutes or so on horseback, Nikita, you do notice something sitting in the middle of the road on the other side of
Welcoming
the...
us back.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, you little blue shit. I wondered if you'd be here.
Is it a dead dog?
And on that note, I think that's probably a good place to stop for the evening. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Tune in again next week. Same Grognard time, same Grognard channel. Thank you, Talia, KJ, for joining us this evening. We look forward to seeing you again next week. And if everyone wants, just because I'm so excited about it, why don't we end before the credits with another replay of the opening? What do you think?
Do it.
Definitely.
Do it.
Everyone, the world is getting scary. People are violent, and the madness is getting really bad. The one thing we can do is to each other, and that is be kind. Have a good night.